Tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I was born in Switzerland. I am a teaching assistant and PhD candidate at the University of Geneva. My PhD carries on Black European women's internationalism for the second half of the 20th century, and I am also the founder of AfroLit, which is a literary platform which offers many activities such as book clubs or book meetings, literary events, as well as a web series that was shot in Ghana.
Tell us what this masterclass is about.
So this masterclass is about, on the one hand, thinking about new ways to tell stories about Black women. So thinking about more complex Black female characters that have more depth, and basically more complexity. So, and the second objective is thinking about how to include Black women in the creative process, not only by acknowledging their intellectual contribution into thinking about more complex Black female characters. Most critiques come from Black women, so it's important to kind of acknowledge that contribution in terms of symbolic power, but also economical power. So we all, I know for myself, I'm sure you've been in that position where male friends most of the time, not to say that women do not do it, but I haven't encountered more experiences where it's just Black men coming towards me and asking me for my opinion or some sort of advice and not seeing it actually as a job. So it's consulting that you're asking for in order to have a better product at the end, in order to have something that is just more interesting for the public or the audience, and not seeing me as a consultant, as somebody that you can credit for, as somebody that you can pay for that work.
For the expertise as well.
Exactly.
Just knowing the subject inside out.
Yeah. Or assuming that because I'm a Black woman, I have some sort of given expertise on the topic,
right.
Which sometimes, yes, we do because we live those experiences. So lived experience is knowledge, but not every Black woman is aware of these things. So it takes some sort of consciousness and expertise, definitely
right.
Expertise. And so just being acknowledged for the work and the labor that you're asking for.
That it requires. Yeah. One thing though that I'm thinking as you're saying this is that also perhaps when people seek counsel to indeed have a better understanding of what a woman in a Black woman's experience is like, also to perhaps take into consideration or into account that her experience is not necessarily representative of every single Black woman out there. So my question to you is, why do you think that this particular topic, as we talk about women empowerment, as we talk about Black womanhood, as we talk about gender a whole lot more nowadays, why do you think this topic of talking about and including Black women in the creative process is relevant?
Because there have been some attempts who have been successful more or less, depending on how you want to analyze them and how you receive them. I'm thinking about within the span of the last year, looking at Black Panther, looking at If Beale Street Could Talk, looking at Driven Was Black, which has been a creative project that was shot in a British context. Those have been attempts, to kind of think differently about the position of Black women and the way we want to create those Black female characters in the visual arts, let's put it that way, or moving images.
Visual storytelling.
To be a bit of old school moving images. But yet, not really getting there.
Even though those were projects that were also launched and directed by Black filmmakers.
Totally. So it's not so much to say as the scrap, but it's more to say you could require some sort of expertise that could help it make it even a better project. And as a reader, I do feel this kind of as if there was a gap between what the kind of books I have come across, read, enjoyed in terms of storytelling and complex characters, female characters, but also just a way of how do you create complex characters, whether they're the main characters or secondary characters, etc.